Good morning, everyone. This is Pete Torre. Hey, today's program is going to be very special. A little bit later on, we're bringing back our expert here.
As a matter of fact, FIU is mainly focused on helping businesses to succeed by making them better competitors. And so because you asked me what I see on the horizon, I just wanted to mention it. The positive where I see a good opportunity as well as the concern that I have regard to increase the Asian comes to trade. And of course, supply chain management plays an extremely important role in the optimization of business processes and the utilization of market opportunities for our small to medium-sized enterprises, which is exactly the reason why we, for example, on April 27th, have a seminar for small to medium-sized enterprises that talks about opportunities for next level growth and how the value chain or the supply chain can help reach the next level in growth.
Dr. Lassar, I think the career in supply chain management is a very exciting one, and it's one that has a lot of different components and parts to it there. Can you expand a little bit about the opportunities in that industry for someone that wants to get in and is looking at it?
Of course, I'm happy to. So supply chain management really is a function-spanning activity. In supply chain management, one has to understand finance, marketing, operations, and management. Mm-hmm. In other words, supply chain management helps you identify the prospects of contracting with suppliers and having the appropriate financial contracts in place. It then has the operations of when do you have inventory, do you hold inventory, just-in-time inventory versus having more inventory because of mass production. How do you then send it through shipping lanes to your either distributors or end customers, which is also operations. It talks about marketing because, in other words, supply chain management has to do with the flow of products from raw product to the end customer final product. And you do have to understand the demand in the market to then schedule the appropriate intake of raw materials to produce whatever. And so marketing is at the heart of supply chain management too, as you have to forecast demand. And then, of course, you have to manage your workforce, you have to manage your transportation force to get the product to the destination. All of that is part of supply chain management, and therefore we have a lot of interest for supply chain management in our student body who have also other majors. So we see a lot of double majors. We have marketers who also do supply chain management, finance students who do supply chain management, because they know that there is a lot of potential in the industry in regard to employment. And it's going for, and a supply chain job ranges from something very less complex, let's call it less complex, to something extremely sophisticated with models, creating models to optimize flows and optimize systems. So one can range from something that is rather straightforward to something really complex and technologically challenging and with engineering and other applications in technology. And that's what makes supply chain management so important as an educational system, because you can really help the careers of a wide variety of students.
We are speaking with Dr. Walfried Lassar, Associate Dean of the Chapman Graduate School of Business, Florida International University. Our discussion today is about supply chain management. Of course, we are coming to you live from Pipeline Workspace, the headquarters of WBRN Miami in the city of Doral. And a little bit later on, we'll be bringing on Louis Peters Insurance and Financial Services. Dr. Lassar, when you look at any career, in fact, a career can be something that you start when you're out of high school, but it also can become something that you change midway through your life. If folks are looking at changing one particular industry they've been involved with or an area of study, or they start looking at this as an opportunity to diversify and do something new. What have you seen in terms of the student body as it relates to the demographics of the students?
That's a very good question, Pete. As a matter of fact, we're seeing major trends and cycles. So, as it's well known, when the economy goes down, the need for education really ramps up, and we see a lot of people refocusing on new areas of knowledge to transition into new careers. Currently, we are in an economic uptick, and therefore, we see a lot of people working very hard and stepping back a little bit from going into education and furthering their career. But those people who go into education and are interested in, for example, graduate education, are really coming in with a keen eye to changing industries or changing into a new functional area or advancing in the leadership hierarchy of their business, because they see very clearly that while they are experts in what they're doing, in order to move up and move on, one has to go into a multiple function perspective, integrating functions like marketing, human resources, finance, and others to overcome the challenges of a business. So we can see a demographic for us at FIU that is trending towards more mature students in the graduate programs. Now, for the undergrad programs, we pride ourselves of being a top destination, university destination for first-time in college students. Mm-hmm. And we are really, really focusing on our mission to help the South Florida market and population, especially when it comes to the Hispanic population, to really gain a very strong foothold in a successful career. Here we also see that we have more and more students who are not just doing one major, focusing on one area of study, but in business, for example, we see a lot of what we call double majors, mm-hmm. students who know that just knowing one thing well might not be good enough in our market, so they're going after two areas or sometimes even three areas that they want to master.
If I can ask you a question on that point right there, and now I'm talking to all of our listeners tuning in right at this very moment here. Let's, if you can repeat what you just said right now, because I think what that does, it ties into the fact that we need to really seriously consider diversification in what we do as a business owner, and always looking for ways to diversify our specialty for many, many reasons. One of them is to leverage opportunities. Another thing is kind of to balance the scale a little bit there. And that ties into education. Is every single one of you that's out there, the better educated you can be and the more diverse you can be in your education, the more valuable you're going to be to your employer, or if you own a business, to your client. Can we expand on that a little bit?
Yes, I'm happy to. So, if I may take 2 minutes to kind of put it into a bigger perspective, if that's okay?
Sure.
Okay, so we know that we are again in a disruptive, technologically disruptive stage. As a matter of fact, we are in a technologically disruptive stage where the new technology of self-guidance, learning systems will actually be potentially creating less jobs in the new technology than are eliminated from what we have done in the past due to the new technology.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
That means that this is the first time that the new technology or disruptive technologies will actually create less jobs in a new area or new industry or new functions than are lost in the older application. What does that mean for our workforce or our new students, millennials we're talking about, when we talk undergrad? It means that our students that are now graduating or now studying might not look forward towards a career in a firm employee relationship.
Correct.
It may be that they're looking at being mainly contractors of their knowledge, their capabilities in a marketplace.
Correct, and that's a great point because it's basically you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you're in business for yourself.
You are becoming an entrepreneur of your own brand,
That's
of
right.
your own knowledge. What that means, translated to the day-to-day operation of you and me, or who is the person that wants a job in the future, it means that while you might be an expert in a specific functional area or a certain narrow field, you do have to understand how to market yourself. You have to understand how to drive the entrepreneur that is you to actually be successful. That means that you have to know more than just your functional expertise that you enjoy so much and where you want to succeed.
I think the theme of what we're talking about here today is the fact that in the old world, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I look at the old world as pre-Great Recession, and that world was that you had tunnel vision, and you did one aspect, one area that you were good at, okay, but you never looked to the side. And you just kept going forward, and yet you missed opportunities and things that, or problems that were developing because you were just focusing on one area. For instance, like you said right now, maybe I am in the financial side of a business and just doing that, or just on the marketing side. But what I think you're telling all of us this morning is the fact that you've got to be opened up and learn more. If you're in financial, learn more about the marketing aspect, learn more about the logistical side of a business there. Because everything is no longer in individual clusters. Everything is opening up, and they're crossing the boundaries.
And by the way, that doesn't stop with the recession, Great Recession. The kind of specialization proceeded to be very successful until the 70s. So it's not.
Right. Well, I think not that it's new, and I don't think if you really take a hard look at a lot of things. Most things are not new. They've been around for a long time, but they come to the forefront at a particular time where everybody becomes aware of it, that maybe they weren't paying attention to it or they didn't understand it before. Dr. Lassar, we have a couple of minutes left, and I want to talk very important about an event that you have coming up in April.
Yes. On April 27th, we have what we call the Next Level Growth Seminar for Business Owners, and in the event, we are focusing on the value chain. The event is going to take place at our Modesto Amadi campus, the main campus here of FIU in West Kendall, in our College of Business complex. What we are going to do there is exactly what we just talked about. We are going to help small to medium-sized enterprises, business owners, and top managers of the enterprises to understand how the value chain or supply chain can help their overall competitiveness. So we are, for example, looking at how the value chain and supply chain management can reduce costs in your system. We then might look at how it optimizes the output as well as can minimize risks and what risks one has to actually focus on. We then forecast demand and help business owners understand how to forecast demand as they are growing into the next level of size. And of course, we are also talking about the Super 7, we call it, which are the 7 areas or the 7 principles that one has to really master when one wants to be in supply chain management. And we do that because we know that for small and medium-sized enterprises, as they're growing to the next level size, they must be masters of their supply chain. Otherwise, they are reducing the opportunity to have profit margins. And of course, we know that businesses grow through healthy profit margins. We have some really very, very well-respected experts talking about it. We, for example, have the supply chain director for a center in San Diego. His name is Joel Sutherland, and he is the managing director for the Supply Chain Management Institute at the University of San Diego, a world-renowned expert in supply chain management who is going to talk to us. We have experts from our small business development center here at FIU, And that all will happen on the 27th. And it's only taking about half a day out of the time.
How can the listeners find out more?
Yes, the listeners can go to FIU, and at FIU we have actually the Next Level Growth seminar on our website, and you can register at that website.
So the website, it would be which one?
It would be business.fiu.edu.
Okay. And if any of you missed that, just write to us at wbrnmiami@gmail.com, and we will get that information for you. Dr. Lassar, thank you so much for being on the program today. Fascinating information. I hope that you and I can get together soon and continue this conversation.
It would be a pleasure, and thank you very much for the opportunity to share my opinions and our work at FIU with your listeners today.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, once again, Dr. Walfried Lassar with FIU College of Business, and a very, very fascinating conversation regarding supply chain management. You know, the more that you look at that whole area, it's not just an industry. It's part, I think, of every single business, regardless of industry. There is a process, you know, and supply chain management does tie into a process that is so critical for any business that wants to have a sustainable life and a profitable business. So you've got to have processes in place, and we learn a lot from supply chain management.